Ultraman, Along Came Spider-Man. We have chapter 8 up here, and it's the finale of the large Reagan kind of arc. Where we have this
Yeah,
like zombified Reagan coming back. That's like kaiju size instead of like humanoid size like they usually are.
yeah. Uh, yeah, it was pretty cool arc. I mean, last we left off, Peter was trying to stop some boats crashing into some civilians. He's still struggling with just this whole I can't save everybody issue throughout this story. Like, and this one, like, it's like one of those things where it's not his fault. Like, so this Ragan was about to, like, squash some people here. And that's when Hayata steps up and transforms into Ultraman and gives him a quick swing in the face. And Peter's just kind of like got like this PTSD almost where he's like, I can't save everyone. Like, you see
Yeah.
him like freaking out. And he's like, Ultraman, what do you like? He just doesn't seem like he's got like the confidence when he's in these kaiju battles. Like, and I don't know if it's like I said, maybe some sort of PTSD. I don't know if you've got that vibe from
Yeah,
this.
I think a little bit of that. I think also he's trying to figure out the type
Like,
of hero that he wants to be. Um, Clearly, he's not matched up to deal with kaiju sized threats that
no,
has to be handled by Ultraman. But you could tell, like, he was still trying to save that Reagan in the end.
yeah,
And, you know, Shin Hayata had to make the tough call. This thing was on a rampage, it wasn't stopping. Um, and he just blasted it with a Specium Ray, and that thing was gone.
yeah. And Peter was not happy about it. He's like, so this is the decision you make. And he let out like a scream after he let out the beam. He was like, no, Raygon. Um, and then we get a little glimpse of Mephiles and Doom saying Mephiles is annoying. He's like, oh, it didn't work. And Doom's like, no. He's like, now we've exposed Ultraman's weakness. It's his kindness and his desire to protect all lives. And
Yeah,
then,
so we got a little kind of flashback to it being explained to Hayata that like Reagans are very much like humans and they have families and they love and they sing and all that stuff. And then it cuts to a scene of like Peter fishing with Hayata on the pier, and he's just like, I think you're a pretty strong guy, because I think he knew that he didn't want to do that, but he had to make the tough call.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Hayata's like, oh, really? Thank you. Like, he didn't like. It's like so weird where he's like, I don't know why he's keeping the whole I'm Spider Man thing a secret. And it's like the most like quite obvious thing. Like, you're the only American person here, and then randomly a New York superhero from another universe appears.
Yeah,
It's like, come on.
yeah,
They're special investigators. Like, I feel like it's eventually going to get to a point where Peter's like, I'm Spider Man. And they're going to
oh,
be like,
definitely.
yeah, we know. Like, do you want a medal? Like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen.
most likely. I thought it was like a pretty nice arc. I think it showed a different side to the Ultraman character, and even like the way that like the water was on him, like after he did the Specium Ray, almost made him look really sad.
Yeah, it made him look like almost like Peter was crying, and then it almost made it like the water was like supposed to maybe almost figuratively be tears too, maybe.
Yeah,
And then we get a little post thing where the girl's at the tank saying that she loves the Raygon songs, and then she hears a song, and then there's a baby Raygon in the tank,
yeah.
and the lady maintaining it's like, oh, there's nothing left in here. And then we see the baby. Now, when Mephiles went to the monster graveyard and pulled that ray gun, wasn't it a baby? So
Well, I think it
could
was small.
could that baby Raygon have been
I don't know because
like that's the only
I feel
like
like everything he's been pulling from the monster graveyard so far has been like they're
small?
spirits. They're
Yeah,
smaller. Like they aren't full size bodies.
yeah,
which I guess that transitions us over to chapter 9,
Yeah.
which is a start of a new arc. It's of the Gongo, which is like this weird. It's like, I guess it's almost like a Ditto, where it
It's
can
you.
shapeshift and kind
I've
of be what
never.
you make it.
I know the kaiju, and the way they presented it in here, I maybe because it's not in its kaiju final form yet. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, I was like, the I had to Google after I read it. I'm like, the name sounds familiar, but it's just not clicking with me. And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, all right. It sort of resembles the kaiju, but I was like, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah. So essentially, he sends it down to Earth in like a meteorite shape.
Yeah, and it's like
So
normal state. It's like a stone, but
yeah,
based off emotions and people's wants, it feeds off that and kind of turns into what the person wants.
yeah. So we get Peter. He's investigating. He's looking for this fallen meteorite, and he hears like some arguing over a bridge, and it's this uh, injured kid that's getting bullied, and like he's getting like really like roughhoused, and he actually ends up getting thrown off the bridge accidentally.
Yeah, this was a pretty messed up story,
Yeah,
actually.
really.
Yeah, so he gets thrown off the bridge. Peter webs him and saves him, and he still kind of knocks his head a little. Peter like barely Gwen Stacy's, almost Gwen Stacy's this guy. Like he almost split his head open, but Peter saved him. So Peter saves him, and he's still kind of like annoyed and like angry, and like runs off
Because he got thrown off a bridge.
because he got thrown off a bridge. And Peter's like, "Oh, what happened with you and your friend up there? You got to be careful." He's like, "Oh, he's not my friend. It's his bully." Um, Takes off, and Peter's like, "All right, whatever. I'll get back to looking for this meteorite." And this boy Onita, he stumbles across the meteorite, and at first he thought it was a head because he did see a face, and he goes over. It's the Gango, and then it turns into this humanoid looking thing, very alien looking. Um, and then his bully shows up again, and it was like, what the hell, man? What did you think you were doing falling from that bridge? If you died, I would have got blamed for it. Like, he's
Yeah,
getting bullied again. Like, he literally was getting, like, assaulted, like, for almost dying at his
yeah,
hand.
basically.
Yeah. And then he's like, I wish I was like Spider Man and I could have the power to stop you. And that's when the Gango appears, and it, the bully's like, well, what the hell is that thing? And then it kind of like, sort of you said, like, Ditto, like, does this whole like gooey morph thing, and it turns into a giant spider. And that's the final scene of the story. Pretty
Uh, I don't think
interesting.
it's gonna end well for that bully.
Oh no, I don't think that bully is. That bully is gonna get eaten by a spider, I think.
Yeah,
And I don't know what's gonna happen to Onita. I don't know if he's gonna almost become a villain now. If this thing's gonna like bend to his will and just become this monster.
yeah. I
Uh,
think it's gonna be like a you have to talk him over the ledge type of thing.
yeah, yeah, definitely interesting arc. Different take on the Gango. Looking forward to see if they give it its classic look or if it's going to be rolling with this new look or not.
Yeah,
I don't know if the giant spider. I know there's been giant spiders in Ultra Q. There's giant spiders. There's been a lot of nods to Ultra Q. So I don't know if this was a nod to the Baron Spider episode. Uh,
you know,
we'll see.
not for
The
nothing.
spider from that was basically Kamunga.
Yeah. Well, not for nothing. When he was saying, oh, we didn't mention that he was kind of saying like, oh, if I had the power of Spider Man, I would be like, I'd use it for myself and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I thought when he did that whole morphing thing, I thought he was going to get like a Venom suit.
Oh, yeah. Because he's talking about for him. You're right.
I thought
Because
that's what was going to
right now
happen.
this Gango is almost just like his like personal assistant, but that
But
could
he turned into a
happen.
spider. So maybe he's just going to kind of like
That would be really
direct him.
cool
That's where I
if
thought it
this
was
was
going.
like. That would be really cool if they made Gango like the Ultraman Spider Man Venom, like the Ultraman version of that would be a really cool take on this.
Yeah, I don't know if
That
that's where it's going, but that's where I thought it was for a second.
yeah, because he is kind of crippled too. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's necessarily an injury. It looks like a like legit like
Well, he
leg
had
brace.
like a brace on his leg
Yeah,
after
it
he
was like
lost
a
his
brace, but
crutch.
like I don't know if that's like a normal issue. Did he have a cast though? I have to look
Yeah, it
back.
was, I
There
don't know.
was a
I thought it was like an injury.
yeah, it could have been from the bully.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
yeah,
Because even in I know Agent Venom. I can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank, but I know
Flash
his
Thompson.
host. Yeah, I know his host eventually has two like busted up legs, and this kid has a bad leg. I'm wondering if that's what they're gonna go with this.
I don't know. We'll
That's a
see what happens with it.
really that would be really cool. And Venom's really hot right now. You got the whole Venom 3 thing going. Uh it's highly speculated that he might be the villain or one of the villains in the fourth Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, we
They
have to
could
see
be
what's got.
hopping on that Venom train here.
They could be.
That's a really great. I never know, man.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna go that way. I just thought like when I saw like the whole like morphing thing, I thought that's where it was going.
It might.